Hello and welcome to our meditation today. Today's meditation, excuse me, today's meditation is a mental noting practice. So we're going to just take some time to tune into what we're feeling and then taking note of it. So as always, go ahead and find a comfortable seated or lying position. Try to silence all your devices. I'm just making sure my phone is on silent as well. Minimize email browsers, whatever it is you need to do to just help ensure that you have a peaceful and calm set for our meditation today. If you feel comfortable bringing the eyes closed, maybe narrowing the breath in and out through the nose, and just beginning to bring your attention to your breath. As the mind wanders away, just gently calling it back to the breathing. And we will go ahead and get started. So in this practice, we're going to focus on becoming aware of our thoughts, our sensations, our feelings as they arise, and then being able to note them or to label. So let's begin. It is recommended for this one to be seated, but feel free to be lying, kneeling, standing, whatever feels right for you on this particular day. As you get situated, go ahead and just find a tall, long posture. So whether you're lying, standing, or sitting, just lengthening out the spine. Just finding yourself kind of halfway between heaven and earth. As you're ready, allow the eyes to close if that feels okay for you. Or perhaps just picking a point out in front of you that you gently focus the eyes on. Just a soft, relaxed gaze. As you begin to shift the attention inward, take a few deep breaths in and out through your nose, just allowing the gravity of your breath to pull you into the present, into now. As you take a couple more of these long, deep breaths, just allowing everything outside of that breath to go out of focus, to disappear. It's like you're taking a little vacation, a little retreat here in the midst of your day. And then, nice and easy, resting your attention on that anchor of your breath. Feeling the breath moving in and out through the nose, becoming aware of the texture and the quality of your breath. Perhaps the breath feels cool as it enters through the nose, and then perhaps feels warmer as it exits out of the nose. Some days our breath feels naturally fluid like a wave, and other days, depending on our mental and emotional states, our breath might feel a little bit more choppy or suppressed. Without really changing anything at all, let the breath, in its own natural, organic way, just be there. And your mind and your breath just fusing together, becoming one. Now, within this mental noting practice, we'll continue to use our breath as an anchor. But periodically, it's very normal for the mind to begin to drift away a bit from the path of the breath. So anytime this becomes your experience, feel very gently and very kindly note whatever that thought is. So if the mind starts thinking about items to cross off of the to-do list, very quietly, very internally, you could repeat the word planning. Planning. And then you return your attention back to that anchor of your breath. Sometimes you might notice how the mind reverts back into something that happened earlier today, earlier in the week, and you could put a general label around it: past, past, or maybe future, future. Sometimes the mind becomes distracted, but you're not sure exactly what kind of label to put on it. And you could even internally say, don't know, don't know. And that's okay. And then again, returning the focus back to the breath. In addition to being able to note and label thoughts, sometimes it might take the form of more of a feeling or emotional quality. Sometimes we think about a conversation that we've had that could bring up joy. And so we take note, joy, or frustration, frustration, or perhaps even anger. Anger. Can also note these feelings that arise as well, just like you would your thoughts. And each time you come back to the breath, it's like returning back home, back to the center. Doesn't matter how often the mind drifts away. You could spend the whole entire practice chasing after the mind, doing your mental noting. All that matters is that you showed up and you continue to move through the practice. Continue to mind like an athlete moving through their drills, a musician moving through their scales. You're moving through these powerful ancient techniques as a way to continue to cultivate your mindfulness. Sometimes it can be really helpful if the mind really starts to drift away to take a couple of deeper breaths in and out through the nose, as if the breath can draw the mind back, remembering that sometimes animating the breath gives something deeper for our mind to sink its teeth into. At certain points, you may even notice sensations within the body, and then you can label that as well. Silently whispering, aching, or spaciousness. And then bringing the attention back to the breath. Take a last couple of moments here, noticing thoughts, feeling sensations, giving them a name, and coming back always to the breath. And from here, coming back into the sensation of your body, feeling the ground beneath your sit bones, or perhaps underneath your feet or your whole body, and just slowly bringing back to ourselves that sensation. When you're ready, slowly beginning to open the eyes back up. This practice of mental noting, where we note our thoughts, feelings, sensations, is considered to be one of the pillars of mindfulness. Suzuki Roshi said, when you realize that everything changes and you find your composure within it, then you find yourself in nirvana. So the point of the practice is to not become entangled within the thoughts, feelings, and sensations, but to have that freedom from a place of perspective to kind of sit back and see it. As you continue to move through the rest of your day, continue to be that witness from the place of spaciousness, just noting how all of the stuff around us is changing, flowing, appearing, disappearing. And you can watch it without getting caught up with it or ensnared within the web with those thoughts. And this is where your freedom lies. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. I look forward to seeing you next time.